In this video, I'm going to show you how to fold an origami baby designed by Robert J. Lang. Diagrams can be found in the book Origami Design Secrets, and this is actually the second edition, which I think is even better than the first one. I'll add a link to the video description why I think that's the case, but to give you a rough idea, this book has about 200 extra pages of content compared to the first edition, and includes 4 extra diagrams and 12 crease patterns. So this origami baby is diagrammed in both editions though. So let's get started with folding that baby. In this video I'm going to use a 15 centimeter by 15 centimeter square. That's about 6 inches by 6 inches. And the finished model then has a height of 6 centimeters, a width of 5.5 centimeters, and is about 3 centimeters deep. And in inches, that's 2.5 inches by 2.25 inch by 1.25 inch. We're going to start with the white side up and fold in half horizontally. And unfold. Then we're going to bend the paper as if we were creating a crease that starts in this point, so that this corner right here lies on the crease. But rather than creasing, just going to bend it and then make a pinch right down here. And then we're going to refold our first crease, and we're going to make a new crease so that there is a crease that goes right through that reference point. So for this, I like to pinch right at the reference point and then align this edge with that one so that it's a nice and straight crease. Just ensure that the paper doesn't drift apart in the 2 layers. And crease. Now we're going to make a squash fold. So for this, open the 2 layers of paper here and put your finger inside so that you push it all the way to this point up here, and then fold the paper flat so that this crease aligns with that edge of paper. Makes it nice and symmetrical. Flip the paper over. Again, make this perpendicular. Go between the layers to open it up to get a nice point here. And I prefer flipping this over now, and this parting is then aligned with the crease underneath to again get a nice symmetrical finish. And crease. Now we're going to take this edge right here from one flap and align it with this crease to make a pinch mark so that we get the intersection of this 45-degree angle with that extra layer of paper. Now we're going to make a crease that goes through that point and is vertical. For this I'm going to fold over the layer and then again first pinch the reference and then take this edge and align it with that edge to get a nice vertical crease. Then we're going to fold this flap back so that the crease we create is in alignment with that central crease going through this point. So again, pinch, align, and crease. And unfold and repeat on the other side. So first pinch the reference and then crease using the reference back and forth. Now we're going to collapse along these creases. We're going to open the paper up and basically make a reverse fold and again a reverse fold. The first set of creases is going to be mountain folds, so if you open this up a bit, one side is a mountain and the other you need to turn into mountains, like this. and then you push in the paper, push it back out and close up, and then you get something like this. Same thing on the other side, inside reverse fold, in and out. Now we're going to flip the paper over, and we're going to take this edge, align it with that edge to make a crease. Like this. Unfold and repeat on the other side. As you can see, the paper won't completely lie flat while making this crease, and that's totally okay. And unfold, and now we're going to make a crease connecting this point with that point. Basically folding it up as far as we can. Unfold, and now we're going to take this flap and fold it in as far as that layer below. Again, pinch and then check that this is a straight crease by aligning this edge with that edge. And then again fold back the flap, taking this central crease as a reference. Or you can align this edge with that edge in the back. Both will work fine. I find it a bit easier to use that diagonal as a reference. And unfold and repeat on the other side. Now we're going to take this edge and align it with that first crease that's next to the central crease. And we only need to crease from the edge up to the next crease we see ending right there. So all you need is that small section. Same thing on the other side. Now you can see we have an intersection right here and an intersection right here, and we want to make a crease that goes exactly through those two intersections. For this, I like to first pinch one intersection and then find the second intersection, and when you have those two in place, crease, and you start the crease in this point and go all the way to the edge and unfold. Repeat on the other side. Pinch the first reference, find the second reference, and crease all the way and unfold. Now we're going to refold that small crease up here like this and go along the crease we just created, making this 3D. And now we want to fold that edge in so that this edge down here aligns with the edge in the bottom, like that. And then you're creating a new crease in this area here. So when you unfold, you've added this crease right here. Same thing on the other side. Now we're going to collapse along some pre-creasings we made. The first one is this long crease right here, and this is basically going to be an inside reverse fold. So one side is already a mountain fold, and the other one we make into a mountain fold. And then we have this crease right here, this valley fold, and it's on the other side too, and I'm just going to pinch this into a mountain fold and first squeeze this shut a bit and push it so that this is in the right direction. And now we're going to go along this mountain fold, pushing both layers together to the back, and then we can close the model again, and we'll be creating a small new crease in that section right there. Same thing on the other side. First inside reverse fold, then get that mountain fold and pinch this together in the top. Use the small mountain fold we prepared to then push this paper to the back and create a new crease in the back, like this. We need to undo this because I forgot a small step, but that's no harm. First we're going to fold up this section and then refold. But perhaps it's good to look at this again. This is a mountain fold, and then we just collapse. Once you folded it once, the paper is going to memorize what we were doing, and it's going to be easier. That looks better. Now we're going to take this section and fold it to the top. And the paper is not going to lie flat completely, but that's okay. We're going to take care of that next. Because now we're going to take the next layer and we're going to do a small squash fold on this point so that we can flatten the paper. There's a lot of squash folds in this model. And same thing on the other side, just ensuring that that tip really goes all the way to the end by pushing your paper, your finger inside those two layers of paper. Then we're going to take this small corner and make a pre-crease and unfold. And then we're going to fold that paper inside in an inside reverse fold. So you open these two layers and you push the paper inside. And this would be a normal inside reverse fold, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this small triangle here and push it inside. So we open this up all the way and push with our fingers to get that paper to lie inside. So now it's hidden. Same thing on the other side. First pre-crease and then inside reverse fold, pushing that triangle to the inside. And then we can fold this section down again. And then we're going to further open the model by pulling out this layer of paper, and we want to flatten the paper, and for that we need to create a new crease here that basically goes from this point down to that point. But if you just pull it out and push it out as far as possible, that will be just fine. And then you can take these sections and fold them to the back. Number 1 and number 2. And now we're going to utilize these creases we prepared here. You can push the paper inside, and then here to flatten it we need to make a squash fold, and we're going to go along this small crease we've got right there. And push the paper flat. So as a reference you can see that this edge will align with that edge right there. Same thing on the other side. First push down and then flatten the paper. And right here there is not going to be actually a perfect tip, so it's not bad if it's not a perfect tip. Then we're going to flip these layers over to open this up, and we're going to push this paper layer up, push this paper inside, and make a new crease, like this. And then we're going to collapse all of that paper inside. So let's look at this from the bottom here. Basically opening up this paper, taking that crease and making it into a mountain fold, and pushing the paper inside. So all the paper that was in the top now lies inside. And same thing on the other side. First prepare, and then open, push inside, and close again. And let's balance those layers again. Let's go back to this side and ensure that when we close these layers, we're actually taking these layers and pushing them out so that we have this small inside reverse fold in place. Same thing on the other side. Pushing that a bit open and ensuring that there's this inside reverse fold. Now let's flip over the model, and we're going to take each of these small corners, fold them inside, and make inside reverse folds, opening the paper and pushing it in along the creases we just created. Now we're going to start forming the arms by folding up as far as we can, basically along this edge. And open this up a bit to then fold up one more time. And close again. Same thing on the other side. You first fold up one layer, then fold up one more time, and close again. Now we're almost done. We're going to form the head next. First, as a small pre-crease, let's take this tip and fold it in about halfway so that this point would lie on the connection piece here, but it's not extremely important. It's just like a shaping point. And then we want to form a neck by doing a valley fold and a mountain fold. And I like to put the first valley fold somewhere in this shoulder section. So there are a lot of layers of paper here. It's going to be a bit harder to fold and may stress your paper a bit, and you want to push it quite hard. And then you fold back up to taste, really, but you can take as a guidance this line if you want to. And again, push really hard. This gives us these valley folds and mountain folds, and on the other side it will be mountain and valley, but we want both sides to go in the same direction. So here you can see we have many layers, and I usually take 3 to the back and 2 to the front, and then I turn around these creases and kind of put the paper flat on the paper, put the paper flat on the table, and try to push this to get that mountain fold first. Find that a bit easier, and then push the rest of the paper and make strong creases there. And then you can kind of increase the strength of the creases by going both ways and pushing really hard. and this will strengthen the creases in the back and the front because you're creasing through fewer layers. At this point you can see you have quite a squarish head, so we're going to take these small corners and make small 45-degree creases, just folding in the corners and pushing really hard. Again, a lot of layers of paper. And this is again really just shaping, so you can fold in as much or as little as you like. And once you've pressed those quite hard, you can then do small inside reverse folds, pushing that paper in. So now you can see that it's a bit rounder, and now we can make the head 3D by pulling these apart, pushing on that small point to get the top of the head, which is basically a small square, you can see right here. And that's the head. Now we only need to shape the arms and the hands and the legs and the feet. And for this you fold inside, and as a reference I used that small point down here, and fold outside in a slight angle so that the creases you create both meet in that point down there. You've got a valley, and in a slight angle a mountain fold. Same thing on the other side. Now I just saw I made a mistake here with this side not having the right color change. I'm not sure it's going to be easy to fix, but I'll have a look whether I can draw out some paper here on what is going on there. So I'm just pulling on this small tab here very carefully, and then pushing this paper inside, closing it up, and then the color change is alright. So if that happened to you too, just carefully fix that. Now the feet I'm again going to fold in, starting a crease in here, and then doing a squash fold, just to taste. Same thing on the other side. Probably try to make it look relatively similar to the other foot. And then you probably want to get rid of a corner here or there. It's just shaping. Finally, we're going to make a crease that starts right in this point here, where the arm meets the body, and goes in an angle to the top to bring in the arm on one side and the other side. And same for the legs. You start a crease in this point in an angle to bring in the legs, one side and the other side. And then your baby model is all done. You can sit it, let it sit. It's nice and 3D and stable. And it looks like this, all done. And I hope you enjoyed this video. A baby design by Robert Lang.